Okay, it's Tuesday, August 26th, and I'm at a place that's called 5 Mile Park. It's on the edge of Chico, California. And I just got dropped off here by some friends from Medford. It's super nice that they drove me here. I had a mix-up with the bus schedule, so they really helped out. And now I'm waiting for another trail angel. His name's Dale, and he's going to pick me up here and take me to Chester. And then I'm staying overnight in Chester, continuing tomorrow on the PCT. So the reason for this little video is to explain what happened at the end of June. And actually, I'm not going to explain it just at this moment. I'll explain it after the video. So you're going to see some video clips and pictures from that trip from Bucks Lake, and then kind of progresses towards what happened to end my hike early on that trip. All right, so I'm at Bucks Lake. This was the last place I stayed last year before I got off trail. You can see the lake behind me. I actually swam in that part of the lake right there. So it's Saturday, June 21st. And meeting up with John here sometime. I don't know exactly what time. Should be today. That's what the plan was. I'll give you a recap on how I got here. So I was in Whitefish on Monday. I got to a campground just north of Bend, Oregon on Tuesday. And on Wednesday, I drove down to Medford, Oregon. Actually, part of that drive was through Crater Lake National Park, which was gorgeous, really nice. We'll end up there in about a month or so. They got snow this morning, so I hope I don't see that when we get there, but who knows. From Medford, I took a bus to Chico, California, and that's where an arsonist started the fire last year. That's the fire that smoked out the trail, and they had to close the trail last year. So from Chico, there was a lady who lives there who got Thursday off because it was Juneteenth, and she hung around that morning until I got off the bus and drove me to Quincy. And she has family in Quincy, so that worked out really well because there's no transit from Chico to Quincy. And then when I got to Quincy, I stayed with a trail angel. His name's Taylor. His partner's name is Rosalind. Stayed there Thursday night and Friday night with some other hikers. And I'm going to post a picture of them here, but there was the hiker's name's Trio. That guy. He's incredible. That was his first day off. And the only reason he even had a day off was because he dropped his phone and broke it. He made it to here in 51 days. It's incredible. And then there was Chip and Trip and Atlas. Good bunch of people. We all shared some space at Taylor and Rosalind's house. Had a great time. Quincy's a nice town. There's a few things to do, good restaurants. I went to the museum because I had time. And went to a movie last night. I'm 3 for 3 on terrible movies I've seen on trail now because it was not good. It was called The Legend of Ochi. You've never heard of it. Don't even bother trying to research it. It's just not a good movie. Yeah, and then Taylor gave me a ride up here to Bucks Lake, and gorgeous day, so not too hot. So I'm going to hang around here for a while, hopefully not too long, and then I'll meet up with John. So I'll catch you later. So this is Bucks Lake, as I mentioned. There is fishing here. You can catch trout and kokanee salmon. Okay, this is Sunday, the 22nd of June. Met up with Jean yesterday in the afternoon. This is Bucks Lake and the Haskins family campground. I stayed here last year when I got off trail because of the fire. So we're able to, because we're PCT hikers, they offer places to set up your tent for free, which is really nice. There's bathrooms here, and because it's the weekend, there were a lot of campers, but most of them are, well, half of them have left, I guess. There's still a bunch here. Hard, you can't really see because of all the trees, which is so nice. But he and I are set apart a little bit. That's his tent. He has a Z-Pax, very light, pretty nice tent actually. And then there's mine, the Durston. So this is getting pretty good at setting it up. It's still takes a big footprint, of course. Yeah, so we were here last night. We're staying here today, and then tomorrow we're heading out. It was pretty cold last night, actually. It got really cold. So it's supposed to warm up though. I don't mind the cold because today is actually quite cool. If we were hiking today, I'd be very happy. But this is where we're at. So here's more of that campground at Bucks Lake. It's quite nice. A lot of families here on the weekend. It's pretty noisy yesterday with kids, but today's Sunday, so people are starting to clear out. And yeah, there's still a few campers left. There's lots of trees. It's really nice. And the lake's not too far. Okay, it's 10 after 8, Monday, June 23rd. And Jean and I are just on trail. Leaving Bucks Lake. There's 2 roads, paved roads, that you can access the PCT. So we're on the first paved road. And I hiked this. This was the last 4.5 miles that I hiked last year. And Jean got off on this portion, so we decided to come back. I don't mind doing this 4.5 miles again. It's really, really pretty. So we're off, and in 4.5 miles it'll be brand new to me. All right, this is where I left off last year. There was a big sign there that closed this trail. So Jean and I just took a break, chatted with a fireman from Colorado who's here to help out in case there's a fire. So had a nice visit with him for a few minutes. And so now this is all new trail for both of us from here on in. And the trail's been pretty nice so far, right, Jean?
Say again?
Trail's been pretty nice so far.
Oh, yeah. If it was like that, the whole length.
Yeah, we do the whole thing easily.
Yeah, great.
Okay, this is the view of where we stopped for lunch. We're about to head out again. It's hard to see on the camera, but there's a lake down there. It's called Silver Lake. Pretty sure that's the Silver Lake. We just met a couple of day hikers that were there. And then off in the distance, you can see, pretty sure that's Lassen Peak. And we'll be there in a few days, or near there. So that's probably going to be in our view for off and on for the next few days. Okay, we're getting to, or been hiking through this for a little bit. Burned out, and I don't know how big this one is, but I do know that there's a big burned out section coming up. But this is what it looks like. Obviously, it doesn't look very good, but it's part of the hiking the PCT. Obviously, fires. So not all of it is beautiful scenery. Some of it looks like this. Okay, so it's the end of the day. This is the very first day back on the PCT. We did 16 and a half miles, a little more than we were hoping to do, but there was a lot of fire damaged areas, so even if there were tent sites, you don't want to stay in those because of all the dead trees. So we managed to find a relatively safer place here. There's a couple of dead trees that but I don't think we're in any danger. So 16 and a half miles, 4.5 of that I did last year. So where Jean got off trail on Saturday was 4.5 miles earlier than what I did last year. So I did it again and was happy to do it because it's a really, really nice section. And I enjoyed finishing there last year, so it was nice to start there this year. Bit of a tougher day because of the distance, and I got a bit of a hot spot on my foot that could become a blister, but I've treated it. And my ankle was giving me a little bit of trouble, and downhill my knee was. So, but I expect that kind of stuff. That's why you want to keep your mileage a little shorter if you can. But we had to do the miles we did. And then tomorrow we'll be into Belden in about 8 miles. So Jean has a package to pick up there, and we'll see if we're going to stay or continue. But so that'll make for a nicer day tomorrow. And it's all downhill too. The only thing we have to watch out for is poison oak, which is pretty bad apparently. They have gone in and maintained the trail to get rid of some of that, but we'll see how well they did tomorrow. So that's it. I'm in my tent, as you can see, and I'll have to say goodnight. Okay, it's a little bit after 7, Tuesday. And that's what we're hiking through, but we'll be in Belden here before lunch, I think. So our plan today is get to Belden, and then about 1.5 miles away is a place called Caribou Crossroads, and that's where Jean has a package there. And then we'll decide if we're going to take a break, and then decide if we're going to continue or not. I'm assuming we're going to continue. It'll depend on what time of day it is, but there's a pretty good climb coming out of Belden. So that'll help us decide, I think. Yeah, this is Belden. There was a music festival here on the weekend, and there's still a lot of people here breaking up after the festival. And there's a bunch of hikers there. So this place was rocking apparently on the weekend. There's not a whole lot here. There is a bar. So we have to go to Caribou Crossroads to get his package. And then we'll do that, relax a bit, and then continue on today a little bit. Okay, Wednesday, June 25th, about 8:30. Been hiking for a couple of hours now. It's a hill, 10 miles, 6,000 feet. Did about half of it yesterday afternoon, and that might have been my worst day on trail ever. It was exposed, it was hot, and I was cramping up. It was not fun at all, and I'm slow this morning too, but it's cooler and I'm not cramping, it's a little better. So yesterday was Belden, and we decided to leave in the afternoon. It was 30 degrees. And really, the main reason is because we want to be in Chester tomorrow night. I don't know if that's even possible, actually, the way I'm going. I just don't have the trail legs yet. So, huffing and puffing for a while. Still got about 3 miles to go to the top of this thing. So, catch you later. So this is Chips Creek. It's always nice to see bridges out here. Fairly new bridge too, apparently. I don't know how you would have got across here without it. And if you like waterfalls, there you go. Okay, I made it to the Cascade Range. And I'm leaving the Sierra Nevada. Okay, it's the end of the day, about 7:20, June 25th. I've been here for a couple of hours now, and I found this spot. It's kind of in the open, but there's no danger of any dead trees falling on it. So when you look around, it's all dead from the fires. And that's what's ahead of me. Now, I was really struggling up the hill, and John actually got ahead of me, so he's ahead of me somewhere. I'm gonna have to try and catch him tomorrow maybe, or the day after. We're still planning on going to Chester, so hopefully I catch him before that. But yeah, it was really brutal. Again, 2 days in a row. Not happy about how I'm doing right now. So hopefully things get better. Okay, Thursday the 26th, 10:15. I've been hiking for about 4 hours. Something I haven't talked about is the last 3 days I've actually been pretty sick, and I thought it would get better, but nothing's changed. So I just chatted with a guy here. He's going to give me a ride out of here, and see if a day or two of rest will help, and go from there. In the meantime, there's this beautiful spring. He's a guy that's going to give me a ride. He's going to meet a friend of his, and then he's going to come back and get me. So I'll catching a ride out of here. I can give you more details later. Okay, so you can tell by those video clips that I was not feeling good and progressively got worse. So I made the right decision and got off trail. And the person who picked me up was a rancher out there, super nice fellow, and he drove me all the way to Chester. We had a great conversation. I'm hoping to meet him again sometime. He suggested I check into a hospital in town, and in fact I had a video that I'm not going to play of me in the hospital, because that's what I did. I went to a hotel that night. The next morning I checked into the hospital, and I ended up staying there overnight. They were pumping me full of fluids all day long with some medicine. And without going into too much detail, I think part of it, what happened to me, was conditions, but there were other factors of my own fault. It was entirely preventable, what happened to me. Unfortunately, sometimes you have to live and learn. But so I spent the day in the hospital and then came home. And I didn't release that video then, partly because I was so embarrassed. It was only 4 days I ended up hiking. And I felt super dejected and embarrassed to have to come home early again. So, and I felt bad for Jean as well, because he'd put a lot of planning into that, and the idea was for the two of us to continue, hopefully all the way to the border. So anyway, now I'm back. I'll keep you up to date, and my goal is actually just, depending on how I feel and what the trail conditions are like, fires, etc., I'm planning to get to the Oregon border, which should take approximately 4 weeks. If I'm feeling really good, it won't take that long. So thanks for watching the videos up to this point, and hopefully you continue. Thanks.